Let's be honest. All martial arts schools are not made equally. Some instructions are better than others. Some arts are better than others. And quite honestly, some people will sell you on things that they just cannot deliver nor provide. What really burns me up is this. 9 times out of 10, you, the consumer, you don't really know it. You don't really know the real from the fake. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing worse than spending your time with an instructor and discovering that your time was not well spent. I have trained many a frustrated martial artist who experienced this. They've practiced an art for a while, and then they've come to me and they've asked themselves and asked me, why didn't my instructor teach me this or teach me that? And I'm out on a mission to not allow that to happen to anyone else, especially you. Look, I'm the real deal. I have nothing to hide. I don't hide behind any fake name. There are no fake grandmaster titles or anything in front of my name. I'm the real deal. I run, own, and operate Tampa, Florida Judo and BJJ, which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Here are my credentials. 1, I'm a husband and a father. First and foremost, when you enter into a martial arts facility, I think you should be aware or know if the person who is there teaching has children. I'm not saying that this disqualifies the person in terms of teaching, but both you and I know, if you have children, that having kids has definitely changed your perspective. You're a different person. You see the world through a different set of lenses as a parent. I'm a parent. I'm holding my daughter Rhadi, and that's my son Rufus, and my wife, Dr. Tracy Ferguson. First and foremost, I'm a husband and a father. Secondly, I was on the 2004 Olympic team, and I'm a 4-time national judo champion. So being a 2004 Olympian provides me with some experiences that a lot of individuals don't have. I can tell you right now that I am the only United States Olympian in the Tampa, Florida area who coaches martial arts. Like I said, I'm a 4-time national judo champion, and I earned a bronze medal in the 2004 Pan American Championships as well. I'm a legitimate gi-trained BJJ black belt. The reason why I say gi-trained is because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a gi art. A lot of people have started training in what we call no-gi submission wrestling and no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but there really isn't anything called no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's like me walking around saying I'm a no-gi judo black belt. Well, that would make you a wrestler. Some people they've learned a quality level of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu without the gi. I learned the quality level of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the gi and outside of the gi. And I'm a legitimately trained, legitimately trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu requires for you to train in the gi. Number 4. I competed at the highest levels across the board. I am the only person in the world to compete at the Olympic Games, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu World Championships, which is called the Mundials or the Mundials, and the Abu Dhabi Submission Wrestling World Championships, which is regarded as the Olympics of submission wrestling and no-gi grappling. I've run the gamut. I've done all of them, and as a matter of fact, I've coached people who have gone to the Olympics and the Youth Olympics. I've coached at the World Championships and the Cadet World Championships in terms of judo. I've also been the assistant coach for the U.S. Grappling Team at the Grappling World Championships, and I've also coached individuals who have competed in mixed martial arts in the Bellator Fighting Championships, Strikeforce, and the UFC. I'm an undefeated MMA fighter. I fought for Strikeforce. My last fight was on January 11th on Showtime. So not only have I graced the mat at the Olympics and fought in the Mundials and the Abu Dhabi Submission Wrestling World Championships, but I am the only male PhD in the history of the sport of MMA to fight at a top tier, in a top tier level organization on television. Those are the facts. I'm also published. I published 2 articles on mixed martial arts and was the associate editor for the Journal of Asian Martial Arts. So I'm one of the few individuals who is not only a practitioner, but also a scholar of the sport. I'm also a lecturer, a teacher, a motivational speaker, and a university professor. I'm a real seasoned educator. I'm not one of those individuals who just started teaching martial arts. I have nothing against people who teach martial arts, but there is something to be said about understanding curriculum, pedagogy, teaching and learning, and understanding how to disseminate and inculcate information so that the student can digest it. I mean, I'm not only a trained martial artist, I'm also a trained educator. And I'm a published author. I told you I publish journal articles. I also write for a couple of professional blogs, one that is syndicated by the USA Today, and I publish my own book, Cough with Rhadi. These things are important to know so that you know that the person that you're learning from has a lot of life experience, and they come to you with some depth and breadth that not only is in conjunction with, but oftentimes should and does, in my case, supersede what I'm also offering on the mat. Because let's face it, all of our conversations won't stop, you know, in 30, 45 minutes, hour, an hour and a half that you see me or experience my presence on the mat. I am going to have an impact on you, your life, the life of your kids or your children maybe. You want to make sure you're around a quality individual who doesn't just push sport, but also pushes excellence in all areas in terms of citizenship, in terms of personal behavior, in terms of responsibility, and also academics. And number 8, I'm test proven. Like I said, I've coached Olympians, I've coached national champions. I was the head coach for the Bahamian Judo Federation and produced the first Olympian in the sport. I've not only run a dojo, I've run a whole country program. You're more than welcome to Google me and look at my accomplishments and see what I've done in sport and see what I've done professionally and academically. There are no other martial arts coaches in the Tampa, Florida area that are going to even come close to some of the things that I've accomplished professionally. And I'm not saying that to brag, I'm just telling you that so that you understand the difference in quality. There's a difference between a Camry and a Rolls Royce. Both of them will definitely get you where you want to go, but there is a difference between the two. My name is Rhadi Ferguson, Dr. Ferguson, that's what they call me in the dojo. As I said before, I'm a 2004 Olympian, a 4-time national judo champion. I was a head coach at the 2009 Judo Cadet World Championships, as well as the 2009 Senior World Championships for judo. And I'm the owner and head instructor of Tampa, Florida Judo. We'd love to have you come by Tampa, Florida Judo, where we offer 30 days of free training to anyone. That's 30 days of no obligation at all. We have kids programs and adults programs, and we start at the age of 2 all the way up through the age of however old you are. We'd be more than welcome to have you come to the facility. I look forward to seeing you soon. This is Dr. Ferguson, and have a super fantastic day.
Hello parents, I'm Professor Hans von Puppet. I'm sure you already know the outstanding benefits of training in the martial arts such as judo, so I won't bother you with loads of research and details on how it builds character and develops discipline. I will just tell you this, if you live or reside in the Tampa, Florida area, then I highly recommend for you the absolute best judo club in the Tampa area, Tampa, Florida Judo. That's right, Tampa, Florida Judo. Just call them at 813-501-2827. Once again, that's 813-501-2827. Did you get that? Or just visit www.tampafloridajudo.com. They can't wait to set you up with 30 days of free training.